Hi and welcome to Couple of Expats. If you're new to our channel, my name is Megha. If you're returning to our channel, welcome back to the channel where we talk about studying, working and living in Finland. If you're watching this in January 2025, Happy New Year. In today's video, we are talking about habits that I've picked up while living in Finland. So when you move to a different country, I think it's perfectly understandable that you pick up a lot of different ways to do things a little bit differently. You pick up a lot of things from the local culture. So I think in reality, there are many things that I have changed or I have learned in Finland. But in this video, we're going to just stick to 5 of them. Habit number 1, and this one is kind of funny, but it's drinking coffee. So Finns have a notorious reputation for being coffee lovers. I think many other countries could already know about how Finnish people love to drink their coffee. And before moving to Finland, I obviously enjoyed an occasional cup of coffee here and there, but now my day is kind of incomplete without 2 cups of coffee. So let's backtrack a little into how did I get into the habit of becoming a coffee lover. So coffee, it has a really essential part in the day-to-day routine in Finland. Even in the work day, there is a coffee break called a coffeetauko, and that's where employees have their afternoon coffee together. They might share a pulla, take 10-15 minutes out to talk to one another. So it is really part of the everyday life, and doing this every single day, I think I have already picked this up myself. Also, of course, in the winter months, you'd need coffee a little bit more than you do in the summer months. In the summer, it's so bright, you might not really need caffeine. But in winter, when it's completely dark and it's 9 o'clock and you've been awake already for 2.5 hours and there's still no sunlight, the dependence for coffee kind of kicks in. Habit number 2 is waking up early. Now, I won't pretend that I start my day at 5 o'clock. I do not. I'm not really that much of an early bird either, but Finland has influenced the time that I start my day. And that is because in summer months, it can be really bright outside very early on, like as early as 6 or 6:30, there can be a full brightness outside. And the second thing that's affected this is the work culture here. So people can start their day as early as I have some colleagues who start as early as 7 or 7:30 a.m. So that's pretty early in my opinion. The typical working hours in Finland is like 8 to 4. So I have been starting work around 8 to 8:30. And that's kind of encouraged me to start my day a little bit earlier. I would assume that if you're somebody who doesn't really love to wake up early, that Finland can be a bit tough for you. But then again, I think most workplaces are okay with if you start at 9:30. Even though there are some people who are starting as early as 7 or 7:30, that's not compulsory. Of course, that really depends on what kind of job you're doing, but the normal would be 8 to 4. So habit number 3 is kind of a way of life. I don't know if it's a habit, but it is an appreciation for living by rules. Now, rules are very important in Finland. Everybody really likes rules, and following rules is culturally accepted, and it is what is kind of expected of people in Finland. And it is what makes sure that the country runs in a smooth way, or at least that's how I feel. So what are some common examples? Even if there are no cars, people will wait at the stop sign until the light turns green just because they do not want to cross the crosswalk while it's red. People pay attention to sorting their trash. They pay attention to not bothering their colleagues outside of working hours. So those are the little things that kind of tell you that this is a society that really pays attention to rules. rules, and I think that's a good thing. Now, I'm curious to know if some Finnish people have an opinion on this, but at least I think that living by the rules in Finland is kind of something what associates a lot with why the country runs in a very organized and predictable manner, whether that's be bus schedules as well as other procedures. They're very by the book and following rules. So if it makes any difference, Finland is very predictable. In case maybe somebody doesn't like predictability, it's boring from that fact that buses are actually they maintain their time, but I think most of us appreciate that public transportation has schedules that are followed and everything works the way it should. Habit number 4 is getting around by walking or public transportation. Now, I would have never initially imagined that I would be able to live in Finland for this many years without a car, but believe it or not, it has been relatively easy to get around in Finland using public transportation and walking, and that's kind of a surprise to even me. I think back in the day, I was much more car dependent than I am now. This can be because Finland has a really good transportation system, and also because Turku being a pretty small city, it is possible to get around by walking. What makes it possible is, of course, having a very good public transportation infrastructure, and also there is a cultural norm that it's perfectly fine to be running, to be walking, so a lot of people just spend time doing that, and it helps you get some extra steps. Habit number 5, and that is planning activities and lifestyle according to season. And I think this is the biggest one for me because I don't think I lived my life like this before. But in Finland, seasons are very distinctly different, and it really affects you. And it really dictates, to at least for me, the way I live. For example, in summer months, the days are so much longer, that it's light outside and you're energetic, and you see people enjoying like the entirety of the day up until like 9 or 10 p.m. simply because it's bright outside. And you really see that that is a way of life in Finland. Like, I don't know how many music festivals there are in the summer months, but it's many, many music festivals because summer is just such a full of energy, let's say that. But autumn comes and then things start to slow down. You see more people wearing bright yellow rubber rain boots. You definitely need to have your umbrella because it could start like raining at any time, and then weekends are spent going like mushroom picking and stuff like that. So there's a really seasonal flow to the activities that you're doing. The winter months. So the winter months, I have tried to keep up the same sort of activity level that I have in summer and autumn, but it has been almost close to impossible. And winter is the season that has literally forced me to slow down a little bit. It is the month, or it is the time of year that I just simply need more rest. I simply need to get more hours of sleep than I do in the warmer months. It is a slower time of the year, and it's maybe not a surprise that that's the period of time where animals hibernate. And while we have bills to pay, it is still quite evident in our bodies that winter just is not as fast-paced as summer. But one could say that living in Finland, I have started to embrace and live my life according to seasons. So those are 5 massive habits that I have picked up while living in Finland. I am pretty sure there are like dozens of little micro habits I've picked up as well. And maybe that should be a separate video topic. But what about you? Which ones could you relate to? Please leave it in the comments below. And if you have enjoyed our video and you know what to do, we would very much appreciate if you hit the subscribe button for more videos like this about life in Finland. Thanks for watching and see you next time.